In this video, I want to show you more than 20 hidden features and other changes in iOS 17 that I bet you haven't seen before, because of course there's the big stuff like standby mode, the all-new contact posters, and even the completely revamped stickers. But I've spent some time digging around to find some stuff that I think you'll really enjoy. Starting off first with the ability to finally set multiple timers. In iOS 17, for the first time ever on the iPhone, you can run multiple timers at once on your iPhone. You know, it may have taken over 17 years to get here, but hey, it's finally in iOS 17. If you've ever wanted to make sure a photo that you've taken is perfectly level, it's been hard to do that because you're just kind of guessing. But now in iOS 17, for the first time ever, you can go over to camera settings and turn on a level. And now when you go back, it will automatically pop up right when you need it to show you how to get that absolute perfect angle. And it works in portrait as well. It's so subtle, it only pops up when you need it, and there's even a subtle vibration to let you know when you're on the mark. At first glance, iOS 17 Safari might look the same, but head over to your tab view and you'll notice there's an all-new private browsing section. And for the first time ever, you can lock private browsing with your face. Just head over to Safari settings and scroll down just a bit until you see Require Face ID to unlock private browsing. Make sure that setting is turned on, and now when you go back into Safari, you can see that Face ID is a must to get to this content. Just go ahead and scan your face to view it, and you can try to get to whatever freaky content you might have been trying to search for. Another one of my favorite Safari features in iOS 17 is that you can have articles read to you. Just tap in the bottom left-hand corner and tap on Listen to Page, and once you do that, there are even nice controls, and you can adjust things like the speaking rate, so it's pretty customizable, and it also sounds pretty nice as well. For years, you've been able to ping your phone from your Apple Watch, but you've never been able to ping your Apple Watch from your iPhone. But now in iOS 17 Control Center settings, there's a new toggle right here called Ping My Watch, where now if you go into Control Center right here, you tap that toggle, and you can ping your watch just like that. You could argue though that the biggest change in iOS 17 actually happened in the Maps app, because for the first time ever, you can download offline maps. You just go into here to offline maps and you can select different options, including the ability to download any area that you want. For example, my current location. You just tap on that and then it will ask you exactly how big of an area you want. You can even crop it down to get the exact part of town, and you can see that the selected range of data, well, it changes depending on how much you want. I want to download just that. And then there you go. It's downloading in real time. You can now view this even with no internet whatsoever by heading into Maps. It's amazing. Another huge change in iOS 17 is with Siri, because you no longer have to say, hey, you can just say, Siri, how's the weather? And in just a snap, it will give you all of the information you want. Being able to ask Siri questions without saying, hey, sounds like a small quality of life change, but for me, it's actually been really nice and also incredibly reliable in iOS 17. Next up in iOS 17, there's been some small animation updates, including the sliders in Control Center, but my favorite by far is when you hold two iPhones near each other, they can exchange contact info with name drop and be connected easier for AirDrop sharing. Just look at this animation again. If you hold two iPhones next to each other, it is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. The Photos app is also gotten some amazing upgrades. You know how before you'd have to crop something, tap edit, and then go over here and then zoom in? Well, you can now do this in one fluid gesture in iOS 17. Just pinch to zoom and a new crop button appears at the top. Then once you found exactly what you want to highlight, like this looks like it'd make a nice wallpaper, just tap on crop, and in one tap, it's done. You just made the photo exactly what you wanted with none of the work that you had to do before. It's so slick. And if you have a cat or a dog, the Photos app has also gotten way more helpful, including visual lookup, where when you swipe up on a photo, it will tell you exactly what they found. Now, it's not perfectly accurate. It thinks this is an American English coonhound because I shot in an ultra wide angle because I thought that these were really funny. But go to a more normal photo and your iPhone automatically will know that this is a beagle, and it will even give you context and other information about this dog breed. On course, on top of the ability to make anything in iOS 17 a sticker that goes into messages and that you can use at any time. Now, I have a pretty basic home screen setup, but let's say you wanted to move a bunch of apps at once, and then you realize all of a sudden, oh, no, that's actually not what I wanted to do. In the past, you would have to manually reselect every app and then throw them back to where they came from. But in iOS 17, you can just shake your phone to undo, and when you undo the move, just like that, it will send the apps back without any additional work. Now, one of my favorite app upgrades in iOS 17 is actually in the News app. At first, it looks identical, but head over here to the Following tab, and hidden right here are new puzzles if you are an Apple News Plus subscriber. There are different crossword or crossword minis from the the New York Times, and you get to play these natively without even going into Safari or the New York Times app on your iPhone. It works way too well. There's like different options for selecting text, and it just feels like they put a lot of work into this that unfortunately nobody's gonna see because nobody really subscribes to News Plus. Before enabling this next feature, I definitely want to warn you because it's pretty annoying, and I don't think that a lot of you are going to enjoy it. But under screen time, there's a new option in iOS 17 called screen distance, and as it would suggest, it tells you whenever you're holding your phone too close to your face. Just be ready to see this pop up in particular more than you would ever expect, because you don't realize how close you're generally holding your phone to your face. You get it all the time, and it's better for your eyes. Again, it's just frustrating that in the middle of the content, you get this pop up constantly. The music app in iOS 17 has also gotten a really nice upgrade. You can finally crossfade songs. Just head over to settings just like this in music, and right here you can crossfade, and you can even select the amount of time, the amount of seconds, and adjust it to your liking. This was actually available on Android on Apple Music way before it was on the iPhone, which doesn't make sense, but it is finally here. Now, luckily, trying to figure out what's taking up all the storage on your iPhone isn't as rough as it used to be, but in iOS 17, Apple's giving you some new tools to see what exactly is taking all this space. In addition to sorting by just size, you can now sort by name or the last use date, which is actually really convenient because it's like, oh, I haven't used this, I will delete it now. Next up, for phone/contacts, Apple really hid this one, but you can now add users' pronouns in iOS 17. It's actually right here if you scroll under their email address, and there's the option to add all the pronouns that you would need to. Inside the new Messages app, one of the biggest changes is this entirely new menu that Apple has added, and it's kind of weird because some stuff is just hidden down here, but actually there's a way to customize this. For example, if you want your Google Photos to now be in the main section, you can just drag it up and rearrange it like that, and vice versa. If you want to move something down, you can also drag it down and customize this. But the way bigger feature in Messages for me is the ability to swipe inline to reply. So now you can just swipe left and say whatever you want. You don't have to tap and hold and then tap on reply like you used to. You can literally just find any messages, swipe left, and start talking right away. Now, I'm sure you have seen this one already, but widgets are finally interactive. So rather than you having to tap on the app and actually go through and see every single reminder and then check one off through the app, you can now do it just straight on your home screen. Tap on it, it disappears, and it updates immediately. And this only works for a select number of widgets, but music is another one where not only does it look cool because it changes depending on what song you are currently playing, it just works, and it's so nice to not have to go into the music app like you always had to. Now, if you're looking for the journal app in iOS 17, but you just can't seem to find it, well, that's because it's not actually out yet. It's one of a few features in iOS 17 that Apple has delayed until later in 2023. And when it launches, it'll allow you to log certain moments and even propagate things automatically, but doing that and entering that information, well, it's just not in iOS 17 yet, so that's why you probably haven't found it. Now, iOS 17, of course, includes a new default wallpaper, the one that you're seeing on screen right now, but they've also added another really cool one that is completely hidden. If you go down to weather and astronomy, it looks like Apple's just added a couple of new planets, but in iOS 17, actually every planet in our solar system is now completely customizable to show on your lock screen. Some even have some slick animations, or you can show the entire solar system on your lock screen. Rounding out this video, I want to show you an absolutely crazy one. It is called Personal Voice. This allows you to make an AI version of your own voice. Of course, you have to authenticate with Face ID, and Apple tells you how it works. You basically spend 15 minutes setting it up, and it's going to recreate my voice. So let me show you the results of this as soon as I'm done.
One day later.
To get it actually working, go down to Live Speech now, turn it on, and then set up some favorite phrases. And now, whenever you triple click the side button just like that, you'll get the all new Personal Voice selector.
So here it is. This is my custom personal voice, and it sounds actually kind of close to me. I'm so excited for the new iPhone 15. What is up, my dudes?
Obviously, it doesn't sound exactly like me, and it's not nearly as dynamic, but it is a cool start, and the fact that it even kind of sounds like me is pretty impressive. So those are all the hidden features and changes in iOS 17 that I found useful. I hope you enjoyed them, and let me know your favorites down below. Of course, share this with somebody else if you enjoyed it, and of course, subscribe for more on iOS 17 and a ton on the iPhone 15s as soon as they're released. I've been Sam. I hope all of you are doing well. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.